Hey, it's Justin Potnier from the Mixed Morning Grind. Special guest joining me this morning, Josh Gennings from the Shell Theater. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing great, Justin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How was your summer?
It's been busy. It's been
Yeah.
busy in a great way, of course.
Well, I'd imagine now's the time. Things have opened up a little bit. Hopefully, it stays that way. Well, fingers crossed on that in that regard. But you're starting to see more shows pop up here, there, and everywhere. I'd imagine it's no different for you at the Shell Theater, booking shows to the future.
Absolutely. No, we're getting ready for a great year and it's going to be awesome. We're always keeping busy at the Shell Theater with our rentals and supporting the community in so many different ways. And we're excited to get into our produced events again soon.
So how far ahead do you plan typically, or how far ahead are you planning right now?
Well, in a regular year, I'll plan anywhere between a year and a half to 2 years in advance. Right
Wow,
now, I'm working 3 years in advance.
that far!
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Does that seem to kind of be the industry standard now that with COVID is that you really got to look at things from a long ways out?
Well, I don't think it's just a COVID thing. I think it's just we want to do our due diligence and make sure that we can get the best program possible into our communities.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about one of these great programs that you do have going. We are talking about the Celebrate Culture concert series. What is it? Tell us all about it, Josh.
Well, we had an opportunity, of course, because Canadian Heritage came up with this great program to support arts and live event workers. And we were able to take advantage of that. And what that means is we're able to offer free cultural programming in our parks. And it's something that's an outdoor activity, and it's going to be so much fun for Fort Saskatchewan.
So this breaks down in a couple of different events. Can you kind of tell us how this is all going to look next week?
Absolutely. Well, coming up next week, we've got three great shows happening in our local parks. It starts Tuesday the 7th at 7 p.m. in Turner Park with Josh Sahunta and Stephen Soare. Two amazing local folk players. You're going to have a great time. You'll want to bring a lawn chair and just have a good time at this one for sure. Then we move next day over to Price Alderson Park. And this one's going to have Nadine Kelman and Josh Sahunta come back for another great show there. And it's, again, a relaxed atmosphere. Sit back and enjoy some great culture in the park. Coming up on Thursday the 9th, we've got Sebastian Barrera and Chloe Albert coming out to Legacy Park Band Shell. And that's just another one where you got a little bit of Latin music, a little bit of folk, so something for everybody there, something you really want to enjoy.
And now the 11th, you've got a special event as well. That's the big Saturday one.
That is the big Saturday one, and everything culminates on the 11th. We're going to have big production out there. We're going to have a lot of fun with some amazingly talented artists. Of course, our headliner for this one, are you ready for it? It's Ruben in the Dark. We've got Ruben in the Dark coming out. If you've heard his music, you'll fall in love immediately. But you know what? Maybe you're more of a country fan. No problem. We've got you covered. We've got the Chris Buck Band coming out with his rock and new country sound as well. And leading us off in the start of the night, we've got Chubby Cree coming out as well. You know what? It's a night of fun and excitement for the town of Fort Saskatchewan, or for the city, sorry.
So this is totally free as well?
Absolutely free. Because of the funding we received from Canadian Heritage, everything is a free event for everybody, for the community to enjoy. We want to make sure it's accessible for everybody. You know what? Maybe you can't make it out to the event yourself, or the weather's not doing exactly what you want. We've got you covered. No problem. We'll be streaming it online as well, so you can tune in from home and enjoy these great artists.
See, I didn't know that. I'm learning something new here, Josh. That's fantastic news. So let's talk a little bit too about the live event workers. You mentioned that as part of the funding model that you were talking about before. These folks have been true professionals for a very long time in many different venues. They got hit just as hard as these artists. And I feel like maybe they haven't been talked about enough during this pandemic about how much of a difference it's made in their lives.
Well, absolutely. And a lot of people think that the entertainment world is just the artists that are out there, but it's so many more people. It's the production companies, it's the technicians, it's the support workers, it's food and beverage. There's so many people that have been out of work since March of 2020. It's time to get us all back rolling again. And you've seen it happening in regional concerts as well. And that's a great first step, but we've got to keep this momentum train going and make sure that everybody continues to work as best they can.
So now you're talking with a lot of those live workers. You also, of course, talk with artists and their management and that sort of thing. What's the excitement level like? I would imagine, it's tiger in a cage situation where they've been looking to have that creative outlet, looking to see the fans again. It's got to be a really exciting time for them.
Absolutely. And you know what? What we're excited for is a lot of these artists, because of restrictions, they were in their own houses and they were writing new music. So a lot of new artists are coming out with great new stuff. I'd ask everybody to tune in and check out their favorite artists and then try a few new ones as well, because you never know what's coming out nowadays. Of course, the technicians are keeping up with the newest technologies and the newest trends that are happening that way. So it's exciting to see that, like you said, a tiger in the cage. These guys are ready to roll and make it great again.
Now, you also let me in on a little bit of a secret that you may have some announcements coming up on September 11th as well.
Well, I'll let you know that, things are going to be a little different at the Shell Theater, and we want to talk about that. We want to announce our fall season, and that is to say that we're going to announce the first half of our season from the stage on September 11th at Legacy Park.
You want to tell me who it is now, or?
I think Justin, might want to come out and check out Legacy Park on September 11th at 7 p.m.
Well, I will definitely be enjoying it. And of course, like we were talking about, if you can't make it out for whatever reason, there is a live stream. And where's that going to be? On the Fort Sask website?
It is, yeah. It's fortsask.ca/celebrate culture. It's a great way to engage. If you can't make it down to the park, we want to make sure it's accessible to everybody that wants to tune in for sure.
And again, a reminder, this is absolutely free. It is all about celebrating culture. We've got great local acts. We got a big announcement to make. Josh, thank you so much for not only hanging out today, but all the time and effort you've put into this. You and your team have done a great job, and we can't wait to see it all culminate next week.
Well, I have to send a special thank you out to not only Mix 107.9 for their continued community support, which is one thing I really appreciate, but also the great team that we have at the City of Fort Saskatchewan to make events like this possible. So thank you very much.
Josh Gennings from the Shell Theater.